Welcome everyone to the Real Whovians cast. I am your host Matrix Lord 212, and I'm with Hayden. What's up, Hayden?
How are you going?
All right, dude. So you saw the costume. I need
Yes.
your opinion because I'm getting everybody's opinion right now, and I really want to know the truth. What is your take on it?
This is cool. She looks like a uni lecturer at a modern day uni. That's what she looks like, a university lecturer, like one of these pro feminist type women who, you know what I mean? That's what she looks like. It's something my mum would wear. I don't know. It's a very modern kind of, that vintage kind of, what do you call it? The op shop kind of. You go into one of those stores that people donate their clothes to.
Salvation Army.
Yes, it's very much Salvation Army for a kind of modern chick in their late 30s. It works for me.
So
It's
it
basically it's Peter Capaldi if they were going to do Peter Capaldi as a woman, because Peter Capaldi's outfit was all over the place with jackets and hoodies and stuff.
okay. So she is like a rich version of the Salvation Army outfit.
Yes,
so
yes. No, you
they
got
took.
to you got to remember Christopher Eccleston's jacket cost $2 out of a bin.
That's true.
Because they find these costumes everywhere. Like David Tennant's costume, they found at a Salvation Army store as well. I think all the doctors. I think the only suit for the doctor that's ever been kind of tailored was probably Capaldi.
Hmm. I don't know, but
Um,
so you
and
really
probably
you're
Tammy
okay
Mann.
with this though?
Yeah,
Totally fine.
I mean, I look at the cast around her. Is a Bradley Walsh.
Yeah.
It's going to be cool. I mean, the show's going to be completely kind of revamped. It's going to be modern. It's not going to be as corny. The effects are going to be better. It's going to be more focused on the human characters are going to be the centerpiece. She's just going to be the kind of figure that leads them on the journey. You know what I mean? Kind of like
Okay.
I don't know, what's the figure like? Bedknobs and Broomsticks or Nanny McPhee. The kind of mature female figure that leads the young people on the journey. Kind of, you know what I mean? Like a Hogwarts teacher,
Like a
like
Mary
Professor
Poppins type of
McGonagall.
thing.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's what I don't know, because Doctor Who, it goes through different stages all the time, and I think
Yes.
that's the stage they're hitting right now, because obviously the political social economy of the world is leaning towards feminism and leaning towards kind of this young kind of university pro diversity angle, and that's what the show's going to hit to reflect society right now.
I see.
We hard loving conservatives will get our classic male doctor back eventually, but
Okay.
I don't know. I think I'm just happy that the show is on the air no matter what. You know what I mean? We'll
Right.
get the show no matter what. Whether it's whether we have a female or we have a doctor of color, we're going to get a doctor, and it just builds on the mythology of the show. I think no matter what, we're going to get. I think the episodes, because some of the writers they have planned is going to be fantastic, and I
Okay.
think I think because a lot of people are skeptical. I know you are very skeptical. I think
Yeah.
if they can hit the personality right and they get the companions right. I think that's what will win them over.
Okay.
Because I haven't seen anything of her personality as the Doctor. I don't know what it's going to be.
Yeah.
I hope it's not like a quirky Doctor. I hope she's more of a stoic, mature, strict Doctor.
Right.
Kind of a I don't know, like a. Actually, to be honest, when I actually think about it, I get a Paul McGann vibe off her, a female Paul McGann.
Okay.
Still kind of flirty and quirky, but has a very wizardy type feel to them.
Okay.
Um, if you can't go down the Matt Smith route with her, you can't go down the quirky, weird child route, and you can't do. Oh, you could go Peter Capaldi, where seems a lot older, but you can't go flirty and overly sexualized like David Tennant, where he's flirting with the companions all the time. You can't do that.
Right. Like
You
kissing every
can't do
companion there
Eccles.
is, basically. Right.
Yeah, you can't do Eccleston because you can't do the depressed all the time and the kind of northern accent. Or does she have a northern accent?
I don't know.
She actually.
So she's not going to, obviously,
she
it's just
does.
going to be down to business with her, you're saying. It's going to be traveling through time, dealing with situations, no romance in the TARDIS.
Yeah.
Okay.
She's going to be kind of the mediator with everything going on. She's going to be, the Daleks are going to say something and she'll be going, all right, just settle down now. Get out of my face for a second kind of thing. You know what I mean? Just.
Right.
Kind of, you remember, which Doctor was it? It's Capaldi telling, like, the villains to zip it. I'm thinking, shush for a sec. It'll be
Right.
a lot of that, a lot of sass.
Right.
I have a feeling Bradley Walsh will be a comedic companion as an older guy. He'll be a bit funny. And the two younger characters, I don't know much about that. So I don't know.
Is she going to play it though as a man in a woman's body, or is it just going to be regular?
Regular.
Okay.
It'll be regular. It won't be. Yeah, they'll really put aside the Oh, I'm a guy and I have boobs. They won't do any of that. That won't be.
That's not going to do no boob joke at all.
There'll be none of that because I think you've seen already with Moffat's writing that they don't really like. Capaldi said that being a woman's normal for a Time Lord. So I don't think.
Yeah, but
I don't think he's going to panic when he regenerates, and that'll be a purposeful thing by the writers because they won't want the women to feel like they're being objectified as kind of, oh, I've got boobs, I've got big butt kind of thing. So I think they'll branch over that, but I think the only time you're ever going to get something like that is either when she's looking for an outfit, when she confronts the Daleks, that might be something, or when she meets a former companion like Captain Jack.
Okay.
And possibly there will be some flirting in the Russell T Davies episode because you know Russell T Davies likes his flirting.
Right. So Chibnall's going to have her flirt?
No, if it's a Russell T Davies episode because you know how he's supposed to be writing for the new season.
Well, that's what you're saying. You said that he's going to write the new season. Is that definite though?
Yeah, that's what I heard. He wrote episode. Well, he was asked to write episode 4 or 5. And that's how he knew about the casting, because he was talking to Chibnall for a while about what to do. I know he wanted Moffat to come back, but Moffat said no. I think Moffat said no.
Really?
Yeah.
Chibnall asked him.
Yeah.
Just to do an episode.
He just said, like, obviously, I respect you as a producer, everything you've done for the show over the years. Do you just want to come and do one episode? I think Moffat's in that zone now, like Russell T Davies, where he wants to detach himself from the show for as long as possible.
Right.
And then he'll probably come back in about 5 years and do an episode. Because under a showrunner and an executive producer, Moffat's fantastic. It's when he's on his own. It's when he's on his own and he has the creative freedom to write storylines that go for 5 years that he gets away with his writing and he forgets to wrap things up. If he's got 45 minutes to get in and get out, he generally does a good job.
Yeah.
And I think Moffat did a great job in the last season. I thought the finale was fantastic.
The finale was fantastic, actually.
It was a great finale.
Yeah, I agree.
I mean, the part with the kids and the apples with the Cybermen, it was corny, but like part 1 was so good that part 2 had to be different. And also, I thought Extremis, like if you put the other 2 parts of the Monk trilogy away and forget about them, Extremis on its own is a fantastic episode with a great twist. That's a great episode with a great twist.
Yes.
So if Moffat came back to do a standalone story, hell yeah, I'd be in for that. I just don't want to see him do openers or finales, ever.
Yes. Or Christmas specials, right?
Yeah. He amps them up too much, I think, and he puts too much hints out there what's going to happen. He gets everyone excited, and then it always disappoints.
Right.
There's always the Deus Ex Machina ending where he just solves it with a screwdriver or something.
Yeah.
Now, that's what I want to see, is what's her sonic screwdriver going to look like?
I don't know. Maybe they're not going to maybe they're not going to think too much into it, like to make it like feminist, like screwdriver.
Yeah,
maybe they're just going to make a regular. Maybe they're going to make a regular screwdriver, maybe they'll make like a golden type screwdriver with.
No, it'll be to match her outfit vaguely. So it'll be. Obviously the screwdriver usually represents the TARDIS console, if you remember from the past. Every screwdriver has the color scheme of the TARDIS console. Like Tennant was his was kind of what was it? It was like a deteriorating goldy color, but it was silver because the color had worn off so much, and had the blue, which was kind of like the TARDIS console, and you had Matt Smith, which had the gold and green, which was like his first TARDIS. And then you had Capaldi had obviously the blue, and the that's the best one. That's my favorite. Yeah, that's my favorite screwdriver. I've got that one at home.
Yeah.
I honestly think that's the best one they've ever done.
Think so?
That's fantastic. The detail on it, it's just amazing.
Yeah, it is pretty cool.
I mean, Tennant just had a pen.
I know. He had a small one, yeah. Then
the old Doctors just had a
11 did like
wand
that
with a red on the end. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Tom Baker had
Tennant had like
a red pen. Yeah, that's terrible.
Yeah, just yeah.
Matt Smith was cool.
Right.
But it was too much going on.
Right.
That's you know what
true.
I mean?
Yeah.
Too much going on. And it became more like a magic wand opposed to just helping him every now and then.
Yes.
Because back when it was Tennant, all the screwdriver did was open doors and elevators and turn machines on. That's all it
Correct.
did.
Yeah,
then
now
Matt
it explodes Cybermen.
It, like, restarted the spaceships. It would get rid of every villain on the planet.
Well, the best one was Rings of Akaton, was creating like a force field type of thing or something.
Well, I think the most disappointing part of it was in what was it? An episode I really liked, but no one else really liked. It was.
Which one?
And the screwdriver.
What episode? Dropped out. What episode?
The Power of Three.
Oh, you like that? Yeah. Okay.
Yes, I liked it because I liked the Earth story. It felt like a Russell T Davies story. It felt like Smith and Jones, something like that.
Yeah.
And I liked the Doctor being at home with the ponds. I liked all that.
That was cool.
The problem with that was that the ending was solved so quickly, but they built it up like it was this crazy invasion that no one knew what was going on.
Yeah.
And the reason for that, which you know, obviously, was that it was supposed to be a two-parter, but Moffat changed it to a one-part episode.
Yeah.
And that was written by Chris Chibnall.
Yes.
So I think that's a good sign. I don't want too many things like I don't want to see dinosaurs on a spaceship part 2 or anything like that. I mean, he'll probably bring back Queen Nefertiti.
You think so?
Yeah, I do. Because wait.
Why, there's an episode set in Egypt? You think? I said there's an episode set. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Because there's not many episodes that are actually set in Egypt or ancient Egypt.
Right.
So I'm thinking that I think it's a no-brainer that you'd bring that back.
Right.
Even that what was the explorer guy called?
That was the guy from Sherlock, the Hunter or whatever he was.
Name?
Forgot.
Was it Rick something?
I don't remember.
Yeah, but him, I think he'll come back. I think we will see. Nah, I don't actually. I was thinking we could have seen Brian Williams again, but I don't think that'll happen.
So no Ponds, obviously.
Yeah, no. That's over. I think.
But you'll see River though.
Yes.
Somehow.
You'll get one episode with River, and she won't know that she's the Doctor. Kind of like Capaldi.
And it will be almost right at the library, right?
No, I think they'll go just randomly, like somewhere at the start of her life, maybe early on.
Okay.
I think that they've pretty much gone to the end of River now. I think they've.
Well, they've done after the end of River. They've done where she's in the library and she's a ghost. When they did what was that episode in season 7 where she came back from the library? That's what I'm saying. There was the name of the Doctor.
But the problem is that if you bring her out of the library, then there's no excuse why she shouldn't always be in the show. You know what I mean? And we could be stuck with River forever. No, but I wouldn't mind freeing her from the library. It would make sense. Here's what I think. I told you about this, about something about Bradley Walsh being the Doctor's grandson.
I hate that.
Yeah, I know. I read it somewhere online. I don't believe it. But there's an opportunity because the Doctor had a wife. How did he not have a child with River ever?
Well, we don't know that. But if you remember seeing Forest of the Dead, you know there was always 2 kids in that thing, and then there was 3.
Yeah.
So I don't know what that was about, but
one of the theories I've read a long time ago is see, this contradicts one of the other things about the hybrid. I hate the idea of the hybrid being the reason Doctor left Gallifrey. I hate that. Well, that's
well,
so
he didn't leave. He didn't really leave the Gallifrey because of that.
No. What I heard was that Susan was the Doctor's granddaughter, right? She So at some point on Gallifrey, Susan arrives and said, "I'm your granddaughter," and he said, "How?" She said, "I don't know," and they ran off together because there's no way Susan should have existed.
Why?
So the theory going around.
But first of all, the granddaughter is from his kids or his kid, whatever.
How do we know that? Have we ever actually met his kids ever or heard their names?
No, I mean the thing is, I don't know. Hey, Scott.
Hello.
What's up?
How do we know
Hayden.
that his kids weren't River's kids that popped up on Gallifrey at some point years later?
No. It's not going to be like out of order like that.
That's a Moffat kind of story trope, isn't it, though?
They're not going to do that. They're not going to do that.
Would you like to see that, though?
No.
Would you like to see the Doctor's kids? Not River's kids, just the Doctor's kids.
Well, I would like to see... Here's the thing. I have a big feeling, and I've said this many times on here, that the Doctor's probably son married the Master's daughter, and the houses joined that way. But and they were friends, and then it was kind of awkward because then they weren't friends. But the houses were like kind of joined. You know what I'm saying?
There was talk at one time in the canon that the Master was behind a coup on Gallifrey, and that was the reason why. And a lion's share of the Doctor's family had died. And I don't know if it was just
somehow his wife dies.
That's why Susan went with
somehow his wife dies, his kid dies, his kid or kids. And the only thing that's left is his granddaughter.
Yeah.
And then he leaves.
Yeah.
So I don't know if it's something that the Master did, but I kind of get the impression that Susan is also, the Master is also Susan's granddaughter.
That's what I always thought, yeah.
But they've never said anything.
I always thought something might have happened. There was a horrible event on Gallifrey, and the Doctor lost his family. And that's why he left with Susan, because the Doctor's family wasn't around anymore. Because I don't think the Doctor would leave his kids and his wife and run away. Just take the granddaughter. I think something happened where maybe the Time Lords trapped the Doctor's family in some sort of prison in another dimension, and that's why the Doctor went in the TARDIS in the first place.
No, because then it would be a quest to save them then, and it never.
Yeah, but like I said, from my understanding from what I read in the past was that. His family, all but Susan, had passed away during a coup that the Master had orchestrated.
He even had a brother, too.
And on top of that, he'd gotten tired of the lackluster, dull lifestyle of Gallifrey, so he and his granddaughter left. That was from...
It could have been...
That makes sense.
From years ago.
If you think about it... sorry, it's choppy. If you think about it, when the Doctor looked at the Master in the Last of the Time Lords and said, "I forgive you," it was kind of a big deal. Like he was going to say it to him for so many years. Mm-hmm. What if the reason he forgave him was because the Master accidentally killed his family?
No, because then when he met him as the third Doctor, he would have been pissed.
Yeah.
Or something. I don't think there was no connection. I don't think there was no connection to the Master killing
the Doctor's family. They were both part of the same academy.
What if the brain of Morbius was right and there were 8 other Doctors before the Doctor?
No, I think it was... I don't believe that. I think that... when you're dealing with Time Traveler, you can't tell linear... Like, you can't tell, like, that's future Doctors. You don't know. You know what I'm saying?
He said how far
he could get confused. Wait, he got confused because... At some point in time, he takes the face again. of. So
the
he doesn't
is,
know
though,
that.
Like, we know for a fact the Doctor only has a number when he calls himself the Doctor. What if he didn't become a Time Lord till he was in his 9th regeneration or something?
No, he was a Time Lord. No. He was always. What do you mean? He was always a Time Lord.
No, but what if he lived on Gallifrey and he had family and he regenerated
No, but
8 times?
the thing is that they age differently. So in other words, when he's 200 years old, he's still a child.
Yeah, I got one of those little.
Like, that's the whole point. It's like they have a longer childhood than humans do.
Yeah.
No, but I'm saying, is it possible? Because you know the Doctor is only the Doctor when he calls himself the Doctor. Is it possible that he had another face before the first Doctor?
I don't think so. I really don't think so.
Doctor. They did the War Doctor though. So
yeah, but this is coming up. My point is that whatever happened, he decided. Maybe it was when he was younger, actually looking younger, he decided to call himself the Doctor from some event, and he made an oath. But it's not that he had a whole cycle regenerations and everything, because then when he regenerated in time and a Doctor, he wouldn't be saying, oh, he basically set it out that I've regenerated this amount of times and now we're breaking serious ground here. He said that in time of the Doctor.
Earthly child, he was sort of thrown when Barbara Ian referred to him as that one name.
Well, that's what you said before years ago. I was talking to you about this. What the Doctor might have called himself the Doctor because it was his fault that his family died.
No, because the Doctor is a healer, so he set out to become somebody that heals and takes care of people. Not because wait a second. If you're responsible for that, you're not going to call yourself a doctor. It doesn't make any sense. But if you're going to make
the first Doctor ever, didn't he come up with the name, the Doctor? That was his word that he made up.
He's the Doctor. Right? He created it, just like the Master said. That you're the Doctor. I created the Master. Like basically, That was their names they created.
Because River said that they got the name Doctor from him being around for so long.
No, she's talking about the Amazon forest, how the translation.
Yeah.
No. He created the name of the Doctor for himself. I was talking to someone was commenting on Twitter, and they were like, all the numbering is wrong. The War Doctor is a doctor, and I'm like, no, he isn't.
No.
Because it wasn't a natural regeneration. There was a potion that was involved to alter the regeneration to make him a military war, a soldier. So Eccleston was always going to be coming into the picture. That was the planned regeneration, but it was just a delayed one. That was the whole point. So in other words,
it also mean that the Jodie Moffat thing may have been swooped as well due to something that Missy slipped him.
No. But the thing is, back to the 8th, like the 8th Doctor, then they call him the War Doctor to familiarize that he was the Doctor, but now he's with War. But he's not a Doctor. He didn't have companions. He didn't travel in the TARDIS. He took the TARDIS. He exploded Daleks. He kept killing, war. He didn't do anything a Doctor did. And in the last act, he was going to kill everyone. And if it wasn't for the 10th and 11th Doctor, he would have carried that out. So he's kind of not a Doctor. And he's never going to be a Doctor, even though in the end he did the right thing.
And he said he wouldn't remember any of this.
We never got to see him be this kind of stoic, depressed Doctor because
he's not the Doctor, but that's the whole. See, this is why I don't like these things, because when they want to do Big Finish with him, and it's like, but you're writing him as the Doctor. He's not a Doctor. He's a soldier. He's destroying things. He's not traveling, visiting planets. He's in the Time War. He's basically in a war for decades. So there is no adventures. There is no thing solving things. It's a war. That's why, he did not follow the plan. He went against who he was. So in that incarnation, he's not the Doctor. Just like in another incarnation, he's the Valyard. He's not the Doctor.
Now,
and you can't call. Whatever the Valyard is, but you can't call the Valyard the Doctor, even though the Master was like shoving it.
Is his real name actually Doctor Who?
No, Moffat's being an idiot. No, Moffat.
Yeah. Now that's what it was in Peter Cushing's movies, but not in the series.
Moffat's just being. whatever.
A douche.
I'm intrigued. Like, I want to. What the fuck is the Valia? They never explained it properly.
He's the amalgamation of his darker.
They kind of explained it in like Trial of the Valyard, which is an audio. Basically, he's constructed or grown from the Doctor, but he's not actually the Doctor. It's like it's weird. It's like the Time Lords built him or created him. He's kind of, they did it in like a lab or something.
So there was a cop-out because they didn't want to use him again. They tried to make an excuse for it.
Well, they did use him again. They used him in another adventure with the Sixth Doctor to explain the regeneration, that he was actually injured in the battle with the Valyard, and you just see that on screen.
In terms of the actual series, they didn't want to go down that story.
They probably didn't want to say, but again, Big Finish doesn't count. The only time the only time it counts is really, you could say it counted because the Eighth Doctor mentioned companions in Big Finish.
Yeah, no,
but not connected.
But it's not. It doesn't.
One thing. If you mention one thing from Big Finish, doesn't it make the whole thing canon?
No, it doesn't. It doesn't because we don't have anything to fall back on the Eighth. But what they're doing with River Song, she's out of the library now. So
is she?
So technically, all this stuff, she's out of the library. So if that's the case, then that means if that's canon, she's out of the library.
And well,
if it was one of the 7 original Doctors.
And that's why anything she does going forward, she is visiting them, and it's like new adventures, but it doesn't interfere with her original timeline.
Do you think at some point they need to, like Star Wars, establish what is canon in a book or something? Like, actually write down what is really canon in Doctor Who?
Well, they just very shortly revealed that the Kill the Moon thing is not canon.
What do you mean?
Like in other words, in one of the episodes in Series 10, they basically said that they throw away lines that the moon isn't an egg. It's really the moon that was something else. I don't know if it was a hallucination or if it was whatever. And they could explain it nowadays with us finding out we have a second moon, that was an egg. But it's not the actual moon. So like they kind of made it that's not canon.
That was the stupidest episode I've ever seen.
Yeah, I know. I mean, it's canon, but it's not canon that the moon's an egg.
Yeah.
It's not the moon that was an egg. They didn't explain anything, really.
Series 10 was so good. I really liked Series 10.
There was some moments that were good and some moments that...
It got me back on board, because I was off board for like...
Oh, yeah, you were done, just about.
I was done. And then I got right back in.
I was trying to get you back in. I'm like, no, dude, come on. And you were done. You weren't having.
I did watch Heaven Sent when that came out, and I thought that was fantastic.
Oh.
But I thought Hellbent was terrible, so I stopped watching.
It was so Hellbent. You're like, oh. It's like, how do you...
thought, like, the way they built up Gallifrey being lost, and then at the end they went, yeah, they found a way to bring it back. Like, it was so lackluster.
He just did it because Moffat loved Jenna Louise Coleman, and he's like, yeah, whatever.
Yeah.
It didn't even matter, like, all his plot points. He was just like, yeah, Jenna Louise Coleman.
Like, the Doctor gets back to Gallifrey, and then he leaves again.
Well, I mean, she's going to be in it this thing. She's probably the cause of the time distortion.
What?
She's in the Christmas special.
Which was... Hopefully, if that's the time distortion, it may mean he really did not turn into a woman. Knock on wood.
No. It's not. He's going to become a woman no matter what.
It's going to happen.
Just made an ass.
Whether it's now, whether it's in 50 years, he's going to be a woman eventually anyway.
Well, he's a woman. He's going to be a woman. He's going to regenerate into a woman.
Like, you've got to think, Doctor Who, in 2,000 years, there will be new adaptations of Doctor Who still going. Eventually,
sure.
Eventually, like Star Wars, like, in 10,000 years, Star Wars will be rebooted again. So, like, I don't think...
you could be on another planet, and it could be like, they could just have it from the archives, and they're like, all right, this is Doctor number, we don't even know, like maybe 1,000, but...
What they'll get to, there will be a point where with the Doctors won't be called the numbers. It'll be like the Bearded Doctor or the Ginger Doctor. They'll start naming Doctors after their recognizable traits. Because the numbers will be so cool. You don't want to say, I can't wait to watch the 47th Doctor. You'll say, I can't wait to watch the Grey Doctor or something. Because you will remember who they are by how they looked compared to numbers. The numbers have to stop eventually.
I mean, I don't think the numbers are going to stop. It's just they're not going to recognize. They're not going to say it. But in print, it's going to be 47, 48, 40.
No, you know what I mean. No, like with Star Wars.
It's all right. Let me give you a perfect example. Before we did this cast, and I remember I said when I did the Real Whovians cast 1,000, I said after 1,000, I'm just not going to show like the number or whatever. But I need to show the number like as like a thing. You
weren't going to announce it, but you were just going to.
Right, and I don't announce it anymore. I just say the Real Whovians cast. But I was even going to say, all right, maybe I'm just going to shorten it, the RWC, just like initialize. But then I'm like, no, but I don't announce what number it is. But right now we're 1,173. But it'd be stupid for me to say every cast 1,174, 1,175. So I don't say the number, but you'll know the number when you watch it.
But they'll have to distinguish what Doctor was what then, you know what I mean? Like, there has to be something that, like a kid, like a 5-year-old kid who starts watching Doctor Who, and they said, so what Doctor is it? And the parents goes, oh, it's Doctor 48. And the kid will be like, you know what I mean?
Well, why can't they just say this year's Doctor or whatever?
Yeah.
Or something, I don't know.
It's hard when you go back. Like, it's easy if you say on the box, like, the Peter Capaldi years, or, you know what I mean? When they say stuff like that.
Unfortunately, I do think we're going to have a time where the Doctor's going to be canceled again. There's going to be a break.
Yeah, that's what I'm fearing too.
I think that's going to happen as much. It's coming.
They're going to do a hiatus.
I seriously think that this may be it. But again, I hope not.
Here's what will happen, and I can guarantee you this is what's going to happen. I don't know if you'll be alive when this happens, Joe, but there will be Doctor Who will get cancelled on BBC One within the next 10 years. It'll end. It'll be Doctor 14. That will be the end. Doctor 14 or something, all right? The show will be off the air for about 5-6 years, and then it will become a Netflix binge series in the next 20 years.
Moffat said that story today.
It will. I'm not kidding. It will become that's the way of TV. That's what's happening with drama sci-fi shows.
Well, damn, I hope I'm alive in 10 years, Hayden. It's not like I'm old.
10, like, you know what I'm saying? There will be a break, and then we'll get back to it on a different platform. But BBC One will not produce Doctor Who when it comes back next.
I don't think there's going to be a BBC soon.
No, there won't.
Yeah, from the start of it.
I think the BBC is going to go away. I don't think we're going to have a BBC eventually.
Disney buys the rights to Doctor Who.
I keep saying, I said that before. That could happen. That most certainly could happen.
Let's think about a more plausible possibility. There's a possibility Doctor Who could end on TV. Then it could become a series of films.
Of course it could.
Yeah.
And each film could just be a different companion meeting a random doctor on a random adventure.
Yeah.
That's all you have to do. You could literally do the story of, like, a character-driven story of a guy who's going through a rough stage in his life. He's having troubles with his wife and kids, and the doctor, it doesn't matter what doctor it is, just shows up and helps him out. And there's an alien as well, and that's the whole movie. Right. It doesn't have to be in the chronological order of the series.
No, it can't. No. That's the one good thing about Doctor Who, too. They don't have to do chronological.
Nah. You could do a movie and bring David Tennant back in a random story.
Yeah.
And
that's true.
The thing is, just because you're doing a movie, it doesn't mean the world has to end in the movie and it has to be the huge.
No.
Yes, you don't have to have earth-shattering, universe-shattering stuff.
Simple story. You can do a little short horror film of Doctor Who.
Mm-hmm.
You could do Blink, like the movie version, and it's just about a human. And why it's Doctor Who is because the Doctor shows up halfway through the story.
Right.
And if Michael Richards didn't get into his little mouth flaunt, I thought at one time he'd been good for the Fourth Doctor.
Jesus. Fourth Doctor.
Yeah, he played.
They rebooted it.
Yeah. In other words, if they had redid the whole Shada thing years ago, I was thinking of all the actors that they could have used. And
just stand-ins?
Yeah.
All right, can we put this to bed now? Can we put this rumor to bed? For years, there's been people out there like Sammy Carter, like all of these Doctor Who theorists who think the BBC have secretly had all the lost episodes. I think the fact that they're going out of their way to animate stories shows they don't have the original episodes at all.
Mm-hmm.
The episodes are gone. They are lost. The BBC would not waste millions of dollars to reconstruct animations of episodes if they had them in their vaults. They would not do it.
There's only one person that has the missing episodes. Ian Levine.
No one has the missing episodes.
Yeah, and he's pissed off.
Ian Levine has the missing episodes.
here's what will happen. Within the next 20 years, you will find at least 2 more episodes somewhere, and that will be it. There'll be 2 crappy episodes they'll find somewhere, and that'll be the end of it. The rest of the episodes are lost. They're gone forever.
I think what's going to happen is before the BBC ends and before Doctor Who gets canceled, they're going to release every single missing episode there is, and it's not going to do anything. It's not going to do anything. It's not going to do anything to save it because it's going to be so far gone, and then it's going to go off the air for a little while.
See, the thing is, which is a fact, they have missing episodes. Like, they don't have full serials. They have, like, episode 4 of Marco Polo and stuff in their vault.
But that guy, Ian Levine, he has them all, supposedly. He's the one that gave them.
Do you know how many lies that guy spat on Twitter, though? He's just trying to get attention. He's full of so much shit. That guy was messaging Sammy, trying to lie to him to get him to make videos as a joke.
That guy?
Yeah. He's full of shit. He doesn't have any of the episodes.
Wow.
You do know that the audio files, like the actual audio, exists for every episode. They have all the audio, and what they want to do is they want to animate every episode, but it's so expensive to do the animation. Whose budget's not fantastic.
Wow.
So I don't know. Like, Big Finish could, like, replicate the lost episodes if they wanted to.
They have.
Yeah. Like, that would be fine. I know for a fact that they're doing David Bradley as the first Doctor in some audio dramas.
Well, I'm not crazy about he's got to have the first master. I hate that.
See, you know what I don't like?
I don't like that at all.
David Bradley looks like William Hartnell, but he doesn't sound like William Hartnell at all. He doesn't have the voice.
I don't want to have the first master. I want some things. I
want the master to come back with the Roger Delgado.
The first Doctor and the second Doctor never encountered the master, unless you count that being that the second Doctor, Patrick Troughton, encountered in that universe where they called him the master, which he wasn't the master, but only John Pertwee.
I literally know nothing about what you're talking about. I need some context. What is this first master stuff?
In the Big Finish audios, when David Bradley does it, he's going to have his master in the audios, and that's what I'm talking about.
It doesn't matter if it's not canon, who cares?
Well, exactly. That's true.
Yeah, if it's just an off story, who really cares what happens? I think it's cool. Like, the idea that you can do whatever you want with any Doctor and it doesn't count as canon is kind of a cool idea.
Yeah.
Now I just wish that they said none of Moffat's episodes were canon.
Yeah.
They're all canon.
They're going to do the Dream Lord again at some point in the Big Finish. That's what I heard.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they were going to explain what the Dream Lord was, and they were going to do... Because Matt Smith was going to come back and do a Big Finish episode with the Dream Lord.
Oh, with Toby Jones?
Yeah.
Wow.
A few years ago, there was this webcasted thing with Julian Bain, who he combined Doctor Who, Star Wars, and I think Star Trek. I gotta go back and check. And they were quite good.
Speaking of that, have you spoken about the new Star Wars trilogy yet?
I'm waiting for Chris. We're gonna do it tonight.
Because I know what it is. I know exactly what it is, and I know what's going on. The question is, it's going to include some Last Jedi spoilers, which I know about. That's all
right. Why don't you join us later?
Yes, I will.
Okay. As soon as I get a hold of Chris, then because he's doing something at the moment, then yes, we'll do a cast because we're definitely covering Star Wars tonight. I just want to cover Real Whovians cast, like the costume, because because we haven't had Real Whovians cast. So now we got news. I'm gonna do another one though, and I'm gonna end this one now because all right. But thank you, Hayden. Thank you, Scott. Take care. Bye for now.